What else do I want to share? The other benefits. Well, really the last one I wanted to share, key benefit, is it helps to boost brain power. Yep, brain power. Now, would you like more brain power? Would you like more clarity of thinking? Because if we think about it, exercise improves our circulation, and that improves circulation to our brain. And if we improve circulation to this, do you think it's going to work better? Better delivery of oxygen to the brain. We talked about that in previous module. Yes. So, literally, it helps increase the amount of serotonin and the endorphins, the happy hormones, that help us feel good. They help us to feel more positive about life and about things going along. And if you would like to feel better, then I highly recommend using exercise to boost your endorphins and your serotonin. Because let's think about this. If we feel better, we feel more positive, how is that going to affect the way you work? How is that going to affect the way you live your personal lives and your relationships? How is that going to affect your relationship with yourself and the way you feel in yourself? 24/7. It's not just something you switch on and off for a few minutes. If you're generally feeling more positive and better in your thinking and your mood, bingo. Your whole world and your whole life will improve ongoing if you do certain things. So great, it boosts your brain power. So with all of those benefits, why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we? Let me give you some statistics here as well. Some statistics I've got here, I've done a bit of research. We've got the cost of physical inactivity in England. It includes the direct costs of treatment for major lifestyle-related diseases. And it includes the cost caused through sickness absence. And it's estimated per year, £8.2 billion. £8.2 billion. This doesn't include the contribution of inactivity to obesity. And there's some recent research the government have done that show that the health problems associated with being overweight or obese cost the NHS more than $5 billion. £5 billion every single year. 61.3% of adults in England are overweight or obese. 30% of children, a third of our children between the ages of 2 and 15 are overweight or obese. There's a huge problem with the children being overweight or obese. Childhood obesity is one of the most serious public health challenges of the 21st century. Period. Overweight children are likely to become obese adults. They are more likely than non-overweight children to develop diabetes and cardiovascular disease at a younger age. The children right now are much more likely to get cardiovascular disease and diabetes at an earlier age than current adults. Serious, serious problem. Obesity as a whole has doubled from 1990 to 2008. It doubled. What's it going to do in the next 20, 30 years? Bearing in mind it's already doubled. So if it doubles again, that's a huge, huge jump. Okay? The power is in our hands to change these statistics. It's in our hands and in our minds and in our choices to whether we become one of those statistics and all the health complications that come of that. At least 30 minutes of regular, moderate intensity exercise on most days reduces the risk of cardiovascular disease, diabetes, various cancers, muscle strengthening and balance training, and can reduce and it increases the muscle strength and balance training, reducing falls and improving mobility in older adults. So why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we become more active if you need to be? You may be watching in or listening and thinking, no, I'm really active, I'm fine. And that's great. Check into the other modules, I'm sure there's something in there that can help improve your wellness and your life as a whole on the back of it. But I bet that there's a huge percentage of people watching in right now that can need to add more movement to their lives and feel the benefits of it. So, what types of exercises can you do? Bear with me, Sharpie. Just want to check something, make sure it's recording well. Yep, we're all good. movement and exercise can we do? Well, let's have a brainstorm, let's have a think. What would it be for you? And just see if any of these inspire you, or any of these kind of grab your attention to want to do. Could be walking, could be running, could be getting out in nature more. It could be gardening more and just doing more household chores and being more active that way. It could be dancing, salsa dancing, street dancing, ballroom dancing. What dance do you love to do? Everybody loves to dance, yeah? And go out and find a dancing kind of class to get involved with. It could be swimming. It could be getting out in water. Water might be something you feel really kind of comfortable in, and it might be helpful on your joints if you're struggling with any joint pains. It might be a little bit, it's less impact. So it could be swimming. It could be the gym, yeah, because actually, you know, gyms are really useful places if you use them correctly for getting fit and getting more movement in. And there's all sorts of exercise classes as well that are in gyms, any aerobics, body tone classes. It could be things like Zumba, or things like any body pump and martial art based classes. Whatever it is that you enjoy and that you move, go and do it, get some movement. It could also be, remember we've got things like Tai Chi, yoga, martial as well. And I'm going to cover a bit more about what type of exercise might be right for you. Okay? Then we've got sports. You know, we've got all sorts of sports. You know, we could spend a whole half an hour talking about just the different sports. We've got things like racket sports like badminton and tennis, ball sports like football or rugby or hockey. We've got running groups, triathlon groups, swimming groups. We've got, what other kind of sports we've got? It might be table tennis. It might be, it could be climbing. You might love to just go to a regular climbing wall. Whatever sport it is, it could be either individual sport, it might be a team sport if you want to get more social and be part of a team with other people, make new friends. So whatever it is, I hope there's something there that's inspired you, that says, yeah, that's something I want to go out and make more part of my life. And it might be just getting more active with your family. It might be going out for a bike ride in the countryside with your family. It might be going to the local park and going on climbing frames, or doing some relay races and having lots of fun and laughter with your family. Whatever it is, there is no excuse for the fact that we can actually need to go out and move more. Even if someone's more disabled, there are gyms these days with more equipment that are accessible for disabled people, and the gyms are more accessible for disabled people. So we have got an opportunity to move in most cases everywhere. So some people say, well, what exercise is right for me? Now, I mentioned earlier about exercise can be good for stress levels, can be good for energy levels, can be good for weight management, etc., can be good for health. However, I want to hit you with this point, and this is not something that everybody will tell us about, okay? This point is that high intensity exercise, that means exercise that's really hard work, can have a more negative impact on somebody and in somebody's health for some people. Hard work and hard training can be bad for some people. Who are those people? Well, if you're somebody who struggles with poor sleep, who has a lot of stress going on, who is low energy because of whatever different reasons, could be bad nutrition, it could be because of the stress, etc. If you're somebody who's got lots of sugar cravings, etc., then intense exercise may not be best for you. Because for those people, what can happen is, and you may well have tried it at some point, is you've gone to exercise hard and you walk out from that exercise, after that exercise, feeling more tired, having worse sleep, feeling more tired the next morning, and craving more sugar and food than you did before you did the exercise. Which for some people can lead to more weight gain, actually. Yes, you heard it here. That can cause more weight gain and poorer health, more stress, poorer sleep. I've seen it in a number of people. Working with people one-to-one for years, I've seen the negative effect of these for those types of people. Okay? And what people who are stressed, tired, poor sleep, sugar cravings, etc., they need exercise that is going to give them energy, not take more energy away from them. Yeah? If we're going to do intense exercise, we need the energy in the first place to feel like we want to go and do that. And I have a number of clients that have come to me and they haven't got the energy and enthusiasm to actually go and do that exercise because they are on kind of limited reserves of energy. Yeah, most people don't want to do that exercise and they put off it because they're tired. So if you're one of those people, what I recommend you strongly do is you rewind, you get back to that nutrition protocol, the hydration, the breathing, the stress and sleep module. You need to look into those first and get those well cemented into your routine before you do intense exercise. Now there are some exercises that can be really helpful for people who are tired and stressed and poor sleep. And they're the different type, like yoga, Tai Chi, all those relaxing type of exercises. It might be going for a nice relaxing walk. Not a power walk with weights. No, just a nice relaxing walk. Getting some fresh air and being relaxed. Walking fairly slowly if need be. But it's about de-stressing, relaxing, feeding your body some energy. So you might want to go to a yoga class. You might want to go and get a DVD or something to follow and learn how to do yoga. Because we can do 20-30 minutes of breathing and relaxation exercises that can really, really help the way we feel. And help get the foundations in to then, after a few weeks or maybe even a few months, build in the more get up and go and jump about type exercise, yeah? So, really, really key to follow that. What else do I want to say? Well, some people say, well, how hard should I work when I exercise? How should it feel? My question back would be, it depends what you want to achieve. You know, if you want someone's training for a sport, they need to push themselves and you know, work at the right according levels for their sport. If you're a complete beginner, and I see a huge mistake from beginners, is they go and they start in exercise with all enthusiasm and they feel rubbish. They either get injured or they feel really, really tired and worse for it and achy muscles and they just don't want to go and do it again. There's no incentive. They don't feel encouraged to do it again. So start off gradually. If you're a beginner, you want to start looking at just working at an exercise level where they could complete the talk test. What do I mean by this? Well, if you were doing some exercise and you can't talk, potentially if you're a beginner, you're working too hard. Okay? Because you should be able to hold a conversation with somebody in sentences, but at the same time it doesn't need to be paragraphs. If you could talk like I've been doing on this module, then you know, talking in paragraphs and then potentially that's too easy, which is fine if you need the relaxing energy giving exercise, but it's not fine if you want the exercise to improve your strength and your fitness, etc. So what you're looking for is to be able to speak in sentences, okay, where you need to take breaths in between or the odd yes-no answer and kind of sentences as well, okay? So train smart, work at the right levels. My other key kind of saying that I want to share with you is if you're looking to build up your fitness and strength, what I say is if the levels stay if what you do stays the same, who stays the same? If the levels stay the same, who stays the same? And what a lot of people do, they'll start their exercise regime and they'll see some improvements and benefits for that. But then once they kind of keep doing that same level or that same sport and same intensity, they're always going to be at that level. So if you want to continue to progress and improve, then we need to continue to challenge ourselves in new ways and in new levels. Okay? If what you do stays the same, you stay the same. If your levels stay the same, you stay the same. If you want improvement, change. Keep changing.